Hi, it's Linda, and I'm here to show you how to do a little bit of wax art. I apologize for the quality. You're not going to see the nice bright colors, but I'm using an old computer. But this is just to give you an idea. This is one I just did recently. It's filled with bright green, reds, and oranges. And I'm going to give you an idea how to do that. But first off, let's start with the basics. This is what we need. First off, you need some sort of protector for your table. I just use Bristol board. It's easy. Next thing I do, I just get paper. It can be lined paper, plain paper. I just get a discount store. It doesn't matter what. The other thing you're going to need is a lot of dollar store napkins. This is to clean your iron. Now here's the iron itself. It's best to get a craft iron, a professional craft iron. I got this one. It's called a travel iron. I bought it off of Kijiji for like $15. The problem is it does have the holes at the top, and so wax can get trapped in there, and so sometimes you have to tap out the wax because it will get a buildup in there. So let's start. Your final product is, of course, now this is a 4x6 card. You can go as large as you want, but I suggest that you start off with this size card to get a feeling of what you want to do. So we're going to put our paper down on here. Forgot to add the most important ingredient, the crayons. Here's the tip for the crayons. First off, I always suggest using Crayola crayons. The dollar store ones just don't have the same quality and they will bubble on you. You'll notice that some will have paper, well, they all come with paper wrapped around it. Here's a really good trick. In order to get the paper off the crayon, just dump the whole carton into warm water, let it sit, and you'll actually see the paper float to the top of the surface. Some don't. You just run your fingernail down, take it off, boom. I did 93 crayons in about 60 seconds. So that's a really good helpful tip because you don't want the paper on the crayons. So here we go. Let's start. Okay, so we have our card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my crayon and I am going to melt. No rush for this. It's actually quite soothing and calming, and it's if you ever get stressed out, be a kid again and just sort of play with the crayon. Just melt the crayon all over. Okay. Take it. Now you can dab it across. You get sort of a vein effect. But this particular one, I'm going to run it all over my card. I'm sorry again, I wish you could see. This is a very beautiful orange I'm applying. And I'm just smearing it all over the card. Every time you apply a color, take your dollar store napkins and wipe it off, or your colors will get mixed up. Next I have a red, and I'm just sort of going to apply that kind of to the top, like this. I'm going to do something a little different here. Something like the card that I showed you earlier. Again, wipe your napkin. One other tool that I do like to use, this is called paraffin wax. Bought this at Michael's. I take it, rub it along the top, and it helps clean your iron. You will go through a lot of napkins. That's why I suggest just go to the dollar store, just get the cheap ones. That's all you need. Now I gotta tap mine again because of the holes and make sure. Next thing I want to do with this particular one, I'm going to use green. A beautiful, beautiful, I wish the colors showed up, but they're not, so just gonna have to deal with that, right? I'm just gonna apply green, and I'm going to take it and push it into my card. Now, one thing I want to warn you, I keep applying wax on here because I want a high saturation. When you don't want to, every time you run your iron over a card, it will remove wax. So you have to be really, really careful. And I always suggest that you try and wipe your iron as much as possible. In this particular one, I want a heavy saturation, which is actually quite unusual. See, gotta be careful because you can burn yourself too. But there's a lot of iron wiping here, and whatever you make sure that you get the sides, the tips, tap out the holes. If you don't have a craft iron, the craft irons you can get, they have no holes, they're expensive. I got this on Kijiji, brand new, $15. So here is my card. It looks like a beautiful gorgeous flower with bright, bright green. Once again, I wish you could truly see the colors of this because it's magnificent. And that is my card done. The other beautiful thing about wax art is why I use the lined paper, because you can take it, as you can see, it can get pretty messy. Actually, this one's really clean. But you can just crumple it up, throw it away, along with your napkins that you're wiping with your iron. All goes into the recycling bin, and there is no carbon footprint. The last thing that we need to do to this card is that we take Kleenex, not a napkin, but Kleenex. You take it, and you vigorously shine it up. You can see there's virtually no wax on the napkin. What this does now, not only does it shine the card up, but it really brings out a 3D dimension. Again, this is probably will not be captured on my poor computer. My apologies. But all of this is just to give you an idea of wax, what wax art really does look like. And we'll just try to hold this up a little bit better for you. And it's gorgeous. People would pay money to have a beautiful postcard like that. And if you wanted to, the backs always do get a lot of wax on it, but you could take a second blank card, simply glue it to the back. You know, you could put a line down here and it becomes a postcard. It's whatever you want to do. I have a lot of mine framed. Again, just got a frame at a dollar store. It holds more than 16 of my pictures. It was only $20 and it looks fabulous. So now I want to show you a little bit of tricks using your iron. So let's start off. We have another brand new card. And this time we're going to use, let's see, my colors here. I'm going to use a brown and a yellow. Now you don't always have to put two colors on your iron. I just find I get some very unusual effects when I do that. So I'm going to do something rather different here. I put my brown on, nice and smooth, kind of around the edges. Doesn't matter if it drips. I'm going to put some gold in here, and at the very, very, very tip, I'm going to put this bright, bright, bright orange. Now, I just want to show you, if you just apply it like this and lift, sorry, let me try to show you. You get this beautiful veining effect. I may have given you the wrong colors to see this. Again, wipe off your iron. You want the saturation. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to this. What it is, it's just having a lot of fun. Here, this veining is showing up a little bit better. See how the veins show up? Now, there's a couple of things happening here. Almost looks like leaves. But I want my picture to go in a slightly different direction, so wipe off my iron. Let's say I wanted to do a tree in this. What I do is I turn my iron upside down and I drag it. And I forgot to tap my iron. Again, that's the problem with you got an iron with holes in it, but it'll work. So I drag my iron through, and now I don't know if you can see what I'm actually doing here, but I've just made a tree. And that's how easy that is.